go ahead and do a night drive. It's raining, so I want to show you some tips and tricks. So go ahead and bear with me. When you first get in the car, you want to put on your seatbelt, okay? So I got my seatbelt. Go ahead, click it. All right. Then I want to look around. It's dark, can't see, so I'm going to go ahead and start up the vehicle. Got to put my foot on the brake. This is a push to start, and that's a safety thing. So you heard the chime for a second. The dashboard comes alive, and then the gauges flash. So I'm at 1/4 of a tank. The temperature's cold. We're not moving, and I'm at about 1,100 to 1,200 RPMs. The motor is just starting up. So what I'm going to do is back up, and I'm going to show you. You need to look left and right as you back up. So I'm going to go ahead and back up slow, and I'm looking because I'm not sure what's behind me. So you always want to look around and have your head on a swivel. This car does have a backup camera, but you can't always trust those. So I'm going back really slow and looking, and then I'm going to turn out, and then I'm going to shift the camera so you can see what I see. Okay, here's our outside view. We have some custom headlights here that really put out a lot of light. So if you get a chance to drive your car, you might want to check in if you can see to get some higher output headlights. You need to check with your local authorities to see if you can get some headlights that do provide a little bit more light, but you don't want to irritate other drivers' eyes and make it difficult for them. So we're driving, and what I want to do is get you right to the main street. So if you were driving with me, I would say, listen, let's go up to the edge of the road. And it's 9:19 Eastern Standard Time. And I'm going to go up here and stop. So this is a really unusual stop sign for us. We have some reflectors that allow us to see the actual sign, and that's a pretty big stop sign, but I'm not up to the edge of the street. So what I want to do is move forward so I can see. I'm so glad that I help you. I really enjoy making this content. I'm a state certified instructor, and anything I can do for you, let me know. I'm going to take you guys out on the night drive tonight and show you some different elements. So I'm coming up to the edge of the road. This is an outside view today, and I'm going to turn right and go in the nearest lane. Keep your turn as short as possible. These tires on this car are not the greatest, so they do need to be replaced. No, not because we're doing burnouts and acting crazy. Sometimes tires just wear faster than others. So I just want to give you some insight. Take your time. And in driving like this, you want to look ahead. It's really easy to be blinded by the light. So I'm just scanning the intersection. Being careful. And then I'm going to make a lane change to the left. So it's mirror, turn signal, blind spot. Now, I'm in the open lane. Sometimes I tell my students, stay in the open lane. You can move pretty easily. It is a little harder to see at night, but you need to make sure your windshield's clean. I did clean this before we started. Our windshield wipers are not the greatest. They are a little torn up, so we need some new ones before the winter hits, and I'll show you how to put on wipers. But I'm at about 50 miles an hour. A lot of my clients have said, hey, night driving is really relaxing. It can be if you know what to do. I don't want you to grip the wheel really hard. I don't want you to drive in heavy, deep puddles. I don't want you to be aggressive and be on the gas really hard. I want you to take your time. And if you can do that, you're going to be more successful. I'm looking ahead at this vehicle ahead of me, and if I look down at the lines, literally, I would just be looking down. So try not to look down. We're in the metro area. It's kind of almost an urban area, different suburbs. Most people are in. If you're on a graduated license, you got about an hour. Different states, different provinces have very strict limits on beginning drivers. So this might be helpful to you. Now, if you work and your employer has to provide documentation that you are working. I'm lifting my foot a little bit and I'm scanning the intersection. I'm not staring at anything. I'm scanning for cars and people and pedestrians. A lot of people have gotten struck here because pedestrians walk where they're not expected to be. And then this is when we have a pedestrian car fatality. So anticipate people walking out. I'm going to go ahead and pull in a driveway. So I'm going to get into the middle turn lane just before. And if you were on a road test with me, I would say go ahead and pull in this lane. And we're going to yield to traffic. I'm going to wait. And I'm going to wait till cars go by. Here's my gap. And it's going to be a bump here, so kind of hold on a second here. So now we're in a private driveway, blind corner. You got to look. People will just pop up and pop out. So I'm just looking. Then we'll drive around. You want to look before you go into the area. A lot of beginners just look where the car is. You're going to end up running into something. Hopefully you can see pretty good. I'm running down to the bottom of the street or the driveway and I'm looking. I want you to hear this sound. You can hear these cars going by. They're going 45, 50. It's wet. This means if you hit the gas too hard, you're going to spin out. If you slam the brake, you're going to skid into someone. So you want to roll down real easy once you go down the driveway. So I'm still looking. This car does have a auto shut off. It's kind of weird. Okay, then I turn out. So that was a pretty good turn. And you see how they're drifting off the road? They're kind of in a hurry. So that's a good indication that you want to back off of them. It's in the fall, so it gets dark much earlier. And for a lot of new drivers, they're going to be panicky and nervous. So if you're taking someone out for the first time, try to drive in well-lit areas. See, they didn't stop. They just rode out of the liquor store, tobacco outlet. The first lane to the right is a smooth lane. You do have cars and trucks pulling out in front. When I'm taking students out, we go in the first lane, we go in the left lane. I try to always keep the routes changing. A route for me as an instructor, I don't know if you know this, it could be a 3-mile loop, 5-mile loop, 10-mile loop, where we're making 4 right turns, 4 left turns. Hey, you just got your license. That is so great, or your permit. I'm so happy to hear that. So I'm scanning the intersection because I'm not sure what this truck's doing. And intersections are the most dangerous place. So I read one of the comments on it. You just got your license or your permit. Yes. And then you want to start driving safely. Drive in the evening. Drive to school. Drive to college. Drive to a downtown area. Like for instance, these cars, I don't want to tailgate, so I'm lifting my foot off the brake a little bit, and I've lost 6 miles an hour. I think a lot of cars like to tailgate and be on top. I'm not a tailgater, and I try to teach my students that. I'm going to go ahead and get over one lane to the left, mirror, turn signal, blind spot. I try to be predictable. And if you're watching my content, you should be subscribing. And then you're going to learn to be predictable. You're subscribing because I'm going to bring you value. I'm going to teach you something. And I'm always evolving to get new content to you. Parking tutorials, downtown driving, going to other countries, expressway. Now we have a night rain drive. So I'm squeezing my brakes. And I'm just taking my time. Now, I'm at 40 and this light could catch me, so I'm looking left to right. This is what a beginner will do. So I'm scanning, and now my speed's almost back up. So also, this is when beginners get tired. We all get a little tired. So I keep the air conditioning on low so we don't fall asleep. So if you're learning how to drive and you got a night drive, turn that AC on. I don't drink energy drinks. Not saying there's anything against them, but I'm not an energy drink type person. You know, you got to get your rest. I have to make a left at this light, so just before the light, you're going to see an opening, and I turn on my blinker, and then there is the opening, and I just got in. It's kind of hard to see, but you want to get there just before the light. This is a protected left turn. It's going to blink yellow. And I'm going to move forward, and then I'm yielding. We had a client hit the curb to the right here. One of the instructors told me that. So you got to be careful when you're making these turns. So I'm waiting, and I'm going to let this other car go by. I'm going to show you what a beginner will do. They'll just hesitate because you're just not sure. If you're just not sure, so here's my gap, and then I turn and keep it short, and this is right by the curb lane to the left. So this is an S curve. I've done some tutorials here, really good area to drive. And also I saw a car going the wrong way. Definitely scared the life out of me. So I'm just taking my time. This sign means keep to the right. Just looking ahead around the curve. This would be a fun road to take a beginner on. It's curvy. It's not too fast. It teaches you to look ahead. I'm just taking my time. And I mentioned, you know, fall weather. These wipers are not the greatest, so I've got to get some new ones. So I'm going to be making a left, and then I turn and accelerate real easy. And then you notice the speed limit changes. It says 15 miles an hour. So you got to really be aware of this. And what's going around real, and these leaves also, you will slip and slide. This is another great teachable moment. If you are not aware and you stop real hard or hit the gas real hard, you will spin out. So you need to be aware, this is the fall time of year, leaves are coming down, really beautiful time of year, but also it's dangerous. So you gotta be careful out here when these leaves are out here. Let's talk about this a second. I just got some money out of the ATM. You always have to be careful around these areas because people could pop up and pop out. And there are also some devices where they would try to get your credit card number. So you always have to look around. And I always try to go, during daylight hours, but you're saying you're at night. So you just got to be careful. And it's either get it now or in the morning. So I've been driving, and we're going to do a little bit more driving. I'm going to take you through some other areas. But if we were driving, I would stay on the main roads because I want you to be able to see. we would keep our speed within the speed limit, 45 to 50 to 55. I would avoid taking you in really dark, unlit areas because that's really difficult for beginning drivers, because I've had people go off the road and it's so scary. And I'm serious, drivers who have, they're in drive 3, they're in drive 4, we're driving 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 9:45, 10:45. You're tired, you can barely see the road, you're gripping the wheel. So that can be extremely scary if you don't mentally prepare yourself. You gotta learn how to see. If you stare at lights, you're gonna be blinded momentarily. Then you're gonna have to look to the right side of the road. So when you're driving at night, take your time. If you're an eyeglass wearer, the glare can be really difficult. I'm not an eyeglass wearer, but I always ask my students, do you wear contacts? Do you wear glasses? Yes. Are you nearsighted? Are you farsighted? If you're nearsighted, you can't see things far. If you're farsighted, you can't see things near. So I always ask my students that because I want to know how to coach them. I want to know how to support them. And I think good instructors really support their students. They're very, heard a noise, they're very empathetic. And I don't want you to crash. You don't want to crash. I want to do a good job in my instructional piece to help you. I want you to get your license. And it takes time. It takes dedication. And if you have a person who really enjoys driver's ed like I do, and who takes high value in getting you ready for your road test, then I think this will definitely appeal to you. So we have the money, have the card. I'm gonna change the view. Okay, you see how shiny things look? It's really hard and misleading. There could be a huge crater in the road. And this is weird. There are like 3 stop signs here. So I have to go up to this stop sign and then I stop. 1001, 1002, 1003. And then I'm gonna make a left. And if you leave your car here overnight, it will get towed. So we're not trying to do that. So if your car breaks down, you wanna try to get it, immediately. They usually give you 24 hours. Okay, I'm gonna make a right turn. Again, this is this S curve. It's going up really easy. I did some parking tutorials over here. You just have to check some of the videos. Really good parking, and I'm going to do some more too because I have a lot of questions on this. So I'm just on this S curve. I'm looking ahead. It's really easy to crash into the curb if you're not looking. And you should see that black car to the right. So I'm just trying to take my time, be smooth, be very predictable. And when you guys are learning how to drive, take it slow. Don't let your mom or your dad or your significant other or your friends rush you. Hurry up, hurry up. Just take your time. It's not worth it. How have I made it this far? I think just trying to be careful, trying to really just be safe. I don't want to cause an accident. I don't want to stop right here. I can turn on red, but I have to stop. And then I come up and look. I look left and right, it's clear. Outside view, I turn in the nearest lane. Boom. That's what I need you to do. Keep your turn short. Turn in the nearest lane. So this is the main road. We have it right of way. Sometimes it's 55. We're in the United States. It varies from location to location. We're not in the UK where it's a smaller, more condensed area. Our cars are bigger here in the United States. We drive on the right side of the road. In the UK, they drive on the left. Australia, they drive on the left. So it's all good. And then when the line is broken, I get over and look and check. And I check, and I look, and keep your turn short, turn in the nearest lane. I saw that semi truck, so I wanted to be careful. And there's a street coming up here. So I take students on this route too. It's a night view. And I'm gonna squeeze my brakes. These brakes are a little touchy. So if I hit them too hard, I'm gonna spin. I've had kids hit this curb. I've had kids go on the wrong side because you're not looking where you're going. And I'm gonna turn on the brights. You should see more light. And I'm scanning left and right. A lot of neighborhoods, I shouldn't say a lot, a portion of neighborhoods in the United States, they don't have street lights. Some new suburban areas don't have street lights. Some older ones do. I'm gonna turn on my left turn signal. You should hear the sound. I'm gonna stop for 3 seconds. 1001, 1002, 1003. These are the small things I need you to do. Deion Sanders, the coach from the Colorado Buffaloes, said the small things. Having a complete stop for 3 seconds, looking left and right, taking pride in your driving. And that's what I want all of you to do. Get better, learn. Say to yourself, man, I'm glad I wasn't speeding. They hit the wall, or they got a ticket, or thank God I'm able to stop. I'm gonna make a right turn here. This is a really tight, short turn. And I have some other information coming out. So if I turn short, I'm gonna hit the curb. But also there are cars parked here. I would not want to park my car on the corner. It would get hit. See how much I have to turn? It's a really short, tight turn. If someone left a light on in the car, they're gonna have a dead battery in the morning. But sometimes neighborhoods are good to drive in at night. You gotta learn to keep your space. And that's what I'm gonna cut off my bright. Sorry, I was blinding people. This is your typical North American homes. You know, the green sign is your guide sign. There are no street lights in this area, so it's a little harder to see. Turn on my brights again. Just gonna take my time. And I'm driving to the middle right. I'm gonna make a turn. Spin about 3 blinks of the blinker, and then I'm gonna split it in half and look out the front view, and then I turn out slow. If you were driving with me, I would take you in the neighborhood, making 12 right turns, 12 left turns, and I'm gonna make a left. Gotta stop. 1001, 1002, 1003. I would not want my car here because if people don't stop, they're gonna hit your car. And again, you wanna stay in the middle, right? Wanted to take you on the expressway, but the tires on this vehicle are not the greatest. We had to get it over to the shop and get some new tires. This is the leased vehicle, so we don't want to put that much new stuff into it because we're going to get a new one for the channel. And then I'm turning, looks just like across this mailbox. And the cul-de-sacs are really good too. Oh my goodness. And I'm looking, look where you want to go. I'm going around to the left. So you have to look. If you were driving with me, I would tell you, look where you're going, keep your spacing. I'm gonna make a right turn. I want to see you squeeze brakes, and when the front end is even, then you turn. I can't find the right speed with these with the wipers. Some cars have automatic wipers. When enough water gets on the windshield, stop here. But I can't see. I've got to inch forward. It's called showing the car. So if you just popped in, we're talking about night driving, making right turns, making left turns, and just really tightening up your skill set. I don't care if you've been driving 12 years, 2 years, 25 years. You always can get better. Always. And it's the small things. Having your seat adjusted properly. Getting your steering wheel comfortable. Having the right shoes on. Thin sole shoes are pretty good. I'm staying in the middle right. This is too far to the middle. and this is to the left. Don't want that. Make a left turn, and I look through the window, and then you see me turn. Well, you see the outside. Then I turn out. You always have to be aware the streets are getting smaller. You have cars on the left and right. Stay to the middle right. Watch for brake lights. People. I just turn on the bright so you can see more. And sometimes you need to go out and drive to get comfortable in the vehicle. I want to see how those brakes are. I want to see how the gas pedal is. I want to get comfortable in the seat. If you're not comfortable driving, you'll never do well. Never. You have to get comfortable. You could have your best friend, your bestie, your boyfriend, girlfriend, uncle. I drove a lot with my cousin, and it was really fun. We went everywhere together. She looked out for me, I looked out for her, and then I want to have a complete stop. Then I'm going to make a right turn. Look at the speed of the car turning. If I hit the gas too early, I'll lose control. And then see this big boat? You don't expect that. It's kind of dangerous. And then I have to stop here, and I'm going to stop at the sign. And some of my students were telling me there were several accidents that they witnessed where a car actually went through a home and the driver was trying to get away. So I'm showing you this to remind you. And another time, a person was drinking alcohol, Fireball, that's a brand name of something, and they hit a school. That's right, they hit a school. So you got to be careful. So I look left and right. I'm going to make my turn, making a left. And these are the type of turns I want you to make. Outside view. And I'm going to come up and stop. And you see this stop sign again. I want you to look at this for a second. That's a pretty interesting stop sign with the reflective tape on there, a bigger sign so you can see. But now you have to move forward. You really can't see left or right. This is an outside view today, so I'm going to go up. And my brights are off, and I'm going to let down my window. If you can't see, let down your window. It's called showing the car. That's why I'm moving up. But also, because I'm a car enthusiast, and you might not be an enthusiast like me, but I look at cars, the sound of the motor, the tires. There are a lot of people who are like me who really connect with cars. And I've always been like that since I, was a little boy. So I'm going to move forward, but there's still cars here. And me moving up is called showing the car, and that's what I would expect you to do if you want a lesson with me. And I'm going to go ahead and come across. And that's a pretty nice turn. Thank you for the thumbs up. Speed limit here is 50, so I'm about 45. You must drive at a speed that is safe and reasonable for the conditions on the road. I'm going to go ahead and get in this turn lane again. I want to show you a good left turn. You see these lines. You come up and then you squeeze the brakes, and then I'm yielding for these cars. And I'm going to wait until it's clear. This is what I'm expecting you to do. You got to come up and wait. Sorry about the wipers. It is still raining. So I'm moving forward. The gaps are pretty big. And then now I'm going to make my left turn, and I want to go in the nearest lane. See, I cut it short. I almost hit the curb to the left. So if you overturn it, you will crash. And I have some other information about turns tomorrow. I'm going to go live. It might be in the morning, or might be in the afternoon, or maybe I should go morning and afternoon. You guys tell. And now I'm making a U-turn. So I have some really good information. So let me know if you want me to go in the morning or afternoon, or after 2 or 3 o'clock. So, or I could go live. So I'm going to come up. They're kind of in the intersection, and so we want to stop here behind the stoplight, and then we inch forward. It's called showing the car. It's clear. Go in the first lane. There we go. Keep your turn short. I see the police up there because I'm looking ahead. We talked about that today in class, looking ahead. I want you to make a turn at the next street, so I will tell you this. Get your blinker on 100 feet, a half a block, and then squeeze with the ball of your foot. And then go into your turn slow. And you see how smoothly the car is? It's all about speed control in the turn. You're going too fast, you're going to overturn. A lot of beginners do that. Or people who are overconfident, they always fix their house up, and that's pretty cool. And then there's that boat again, and you don't expect the boat to be here. They can get a ticket for that. Well, I hope you enjoyed this. Leave some comments. I'm a state certified driving instructor. I teach teens and adults. Subscribe to the channel, give it a thumbs up. I really appreciate all the positive comments, and I will be replying soon. Bye, guys. Be safe.